All right, let's get it going. So this is sonic elevation. And you know about me. I don't need to re-explain myself because this would have been if there's others who have not been here. Maybe Dave, I can share this part. You know me, Canadian Nigerian artist, international performer. I've done over 1,000 performances across Australia, south of France, South Korea, Europe, and Canada. I have a professional background in sound design from Vancouver Film School, amongst other abilities as well. There's also a Creative BC grant that I received for a project, which was the original project called Featuring Youth. Since then, it's evolved into two programs, which is Featuring Youth, which is for 19 and under, and also for all ages, which is Sonic Elevation, which is what we're going over here. All right. Just want to check in, Dom. Are you seeing the slides? Were you able to get into that link?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, perfect. Okay. So now I'm on 4 pillars. So Sonic Elevation is based on 4 key pillars, which is live looping, music production, and DJing, and also stage presence. So with live looping, with that we create our samples. So you'll be taught how to create your samples with a looper. So you'll learn the technical intricacies of the loop machine, and then your technical ability as well, creating perfect loops, and how I go about creating stuff like on the spot, when I ask people for a key, the temp, all that stuff. So you'll get ample opportunity to practice all that. Then from there, we take the samples, put it into the DAW, which we're focusing on Logic. And in there, you'll be able to take the samples and sample yourself. All right. So it's the Chimes method. So this is why we're focusing on this. There's many ways to learn music production, but for the purposes of this program, we're just focusing on the samples from the live loops. From there, we take the beats, the instrumental we made in the music production, and we learn how to DJ. You learn the equipment, of course, the technicalities, and then you learn how to put those beats you just made and any other tracks into Serato and learn how to DJ. And then to encompass and envelop everything, we have stage presence, right? So learning how to authentically share your story in a succinct manner and in a way that's emotionally moving, because that's what people really remember. They remember how you make them feel. They don't remember really what you say specifically, but how you make them feel is what's remembered, and the transformation you might bring to their life potentially through your performance. So here's the program structure. It's an 8-week comprehensive program which starts June 7th, which is 2 Saturdays from today. The organization of the day goes as follows. We start at 12 p.m., meeting at a street performance outdoor location, either outdoor if the weather's nice, as we're beginning to get good weather. But if it's rainy or anything, I also have access to the TransLink busking locations, which is quite a few train stations. And they also have a system where I can actually register and also secure our spot. So we'll be able to have a spot for sure. In this street performance segments, this is where for June, you, the students, would just watch me perform and how I interact with the audience, how I interact or even not interact, because it's all dependent on the location, dependent on the vibe. So there's going to be a lot of things we're going to touch on, the psychology of the people, the placement where we are. We're going to look at maybe even how I'm dressed, and we might even do an experiment to see if the way one is dressed affects the interaction or non-interaction with the public. So that'll be during the street performance segments. And of course, in July, the goal is to get the students up to speed so that they can feel confident, and they will feel confident to carry on with oration and to be able to speak publicly. And that comes with understanding your story as well. So that's the street performance segment. Then from 2 to 3, we go into the Yaletown Roundhouse Community Center, where we're going to have hands-on learning sessions. So I have 3 loopers personally. We're looking to get some sponsors as well to share some loopers with us so that we can get more, so everyone can have more time with a looper. But regardless, right now we do have 3 loopers currently. And in the Roundhouse segments of the day, we'll also be dissecting what happened in the street performance. Okay. And then later in the evening, we go down into IDIO Sound Labs, which is a recording studio. So we have that for 3 hours from 5 till 8. In there, we're going to look into pulling our loop into music production and DJing. So we're going to pull our loops out of the looper. And there's a technique to do that. There's a procedure. It's like surgery, but you pull your loops out and put it into the DAW, which our DAW of choice is going to be Logic, and we create our beats. Now, I believe each one of you have a laptop. Am I correct? Dom, you got yourself a laptop?
Yeah, it's not the best one though. It's pretty dated.
Okay. And Misha, I guess you got yourself a laptop as well?
Yep. Well,
Yeah.
funny enough, I was just at the Best Buy just trying to get it optimized today. So,
Oh, perfect. There you go. Great. So, yeah, each student would be required or encouraged to have a laptop with them, because when we create our loops and when we work on the beats, there'll be homework. You'll take the loop that you created back home so that you can play around and get that hands-on experience after. Okay, perfect. Yeah, Dave, you're on the road. Perfect. It's all good. Thanks for listening. All right. And now we have a final showcase July 26th. So that'll be at the very end of the program. That'll be the 8th Saturday. And that'll be outside the Yaletown Roundhouse Community Center. We are limited to 16 students, right? So it's not a very big number. So for those who want to be part of this transformational experience, you're encouraged to get in while you can. We'll also be covering footage as well. So while you're performing, some professional photos, professional videos will be taken, and each student will also be leaving with a professional EPK. All right. Yeah. And the EPK is very important. There you go. So the EPK is very important as far as when it's time to maybe get paid gigs, or it gives you a competitive advantage in the industry. So some things you gain for sure are technical and performance mastery. It's very hands-on. It's very immersive. All right. So as this develop comprehensive skills across all 4 pillars of music creation and performance. Yes, as I just explained. Right. You leave with a professional electronic press kit, and this will be at an industry standard. You get nice photos taken of you, the video, and audience reactions too. So as you go through this, you'll be taught through experience the things that work. And honestly, everybody's experience is going to be different too, and how everybody presents is going to be different. So that's why I like to have the classes smaller at a size of 16, because then we can focus on each person and really get to know what your story is, build your bio, and figure how you present, how you are, right? So based on your temperaments, on your personality, you will build your story, and I'm just there to guide you. All right. So I'll be bringing the structure, you'll be bringing the content, and then we'll just help organize all the content into a good structured format. Yes, industry networking opportunities. We have some professional industry connections who will be at the year-end concert, and who will be also dropping into some of the events that we also host. Right, we have Pure Entertainment. They are in North Van. They are a music production studio as well, recording studio, and of course IDIO Sound Labs. And there's other professionals who I've also reached out to, local musicians who are really doing some things, booking gigs and some paid opportunities as well. Even I get some paid opportunities that I can't take at this time because I'm getting too busy. So, I'll be another resource as gigs come. If I know somebody's at a level that, yeah, they can handle this, then why not? I'll definitely be passing on opportunities that way. So this is just the beginning, and there's much opportunity to come as well. And yes, you'll be also amongst a community of like-minded musicians. As I said, as I get gigs and other opportunities, that will be also passed on to the students and the graduates later as well. And also through it all, there's always connections coming through. So whether it be maybe sometimes film, so like, Final Destination just released, and I was a piano player on that. Just to let you know where some of this music can get you. As you know, I've already traveled around the world. I'm looking to go to Croatia coming September, right? So they reached out to me and invited me for that. So these are some things that come by having a proper package, a proper portfolio set together. All right, gig opportunities, festival opportunities as well. All right, let's see what's next here. So some things you can expect as part of your successful growth by going through this program. You can expect to get authentic feedback, all right, from myself, as I've done a lot of street performance through the years. On music production, I've done the Beat a Week Challenge, creating a beat every week until the end of the year. So I understand all that in connection with balancing that with work-life balance. So that's why I look at doing the Chimes method, because that allows you a system to be able to create quality faster. All right, you can expect to have a personal transformation for sure. Just like I was saying for myself through the Beat a Week Challenge, I said this thing's kung fu. This is an intensive, it's an 8-week intensive, right? It's not just for anybody, but for those who it's for and for those who can put the effort in, you cannot help but be transformed by the end of it. Like, I guarantee you that. The effort you put in, you already know the quote. The effort you put in is what you're gonna get back. And I may even say that the effort you put in is literally, it's a seed, and what you're gonna get back is gonna be greater. All right. Yes, technical mastery as well. Getting professional quality music, and professionalism comes through, as you know, those 10,000 hours. So Chimes Academy is here to contribute to getting you started on the process of accumulating your 10,000 hours. If you do your homework and do extra work outside of what is done on the day, well, of course, you're going to get to your 10,000 hours even quicker, right? So that's highly encouraged. And definitely performance experience, which comes through experience. Performance confidence comes through experience. So we'll be giving you ample opportunity to have that experience. And I understand what it feels like to almost feel like you're gonna die when you get up in front of people, because that was me when I first started. And yeah, with that understanding, I'll definitely be able to guide you and, not push you too far, but at least get you to that uncomfortable edge, because that's where you grow. Misha, do you know my story? How I started street performing? Did I?
A little bit, yeah. You did tell me how you were basically doing this like bartending job, and you were in debt, and you saw all these homeless people on the street, and you're like, I don't want to be that way. So you kind of hustled to kind of build out your reputation by doing the street busking and kind of pay that all off and kind of gain more visibility, I guess, right?
Right. So yes, in a nutshell, that is it. I will point out some important details, because during that time I was getting kicked out of the place I was living for an unjust cause, and I owed a nightclub which I had DJed at over the winter. I owed them some money, and film was not. There was no film work because it was around Christmas and New Year, so film was on hiatus. So it was a rough position, and the decisions I made was going to affect the rest of my life, and I saw that. I see these moments in my life every once in a while, these intersections. And I remember I sat in the very middle of the apartment that I was not going to live in the next month, and I just kind of opened up and I just said, like, I'm just here. The fact is, I don't see a potential possibility out of this situation. But whatever the answer is, I'm sitting down here and I'm going to look for the answer. And I physically looked and scanned the room, and my eyes fell upon the piano. And I knew what the answer was, and I knew the message as soon as I saw that. and I took my piano and I went over to Granville and Smythe and I started street performing right on Granville and Smythe in front of the Adidas store. Made $20 the first day, and also the next day I made 40 something dollars. The next day, third day, I made $5 in 12 hours, and that was kind of rough. And I had to take a day off, but that was an opportune time because I'd never probably feel that way, maybe ever in my life. So I definitely took that as an opportunity to push myself, because the pain of potential poverty was more than the pain of embarrassment of whatever anyone thought of what I was doing, because none of that mattered. I was the one living my life. And I went and I kept doing it. And through the performances, people capturing stories, that brought my name up in some people's minds. And somebody reached out saying that they have a place for me. And I found a new space. And later that year, 2018, I ended up going to Sweden, and I had an island to myself for a week for free. Granted, the island owner, in fact, hit me up and asked me if I wanted to stay an extra week. So actually, I got to say it was 2 weeks for free. So that's, just some serendipitous and some crazy things that can happen, when you choose to, as my song says, live your dream, don't back down. It's not easy, but it's simple. All right. But that's my story in a nutshell. All right, yeah, you get some industry connections as well through this. All right, here we go. I mentioned about some equipment requirements. So bring your own laptop for music production, which would be essential for you to create your own beats and also to do some work at home. And the goal is, after every session, every day, we have a goal that we want to finish making a beat every week. So now I'm inaugurating you into the Beat a Week challenge, but just for 8 weeks. Just for 8 weeks, not for 53 weeks, or for 52 weeks like I did. If you want to do that, great. Maybe next year we can start doing the Beat a Week challenge and do it as a community. And I think that could be really cool, could be really great. But for now, we're just going for this 8-week intensive. And all right, some recommended software: Logic Pro, GarageBand, or a similar DAW. I'm going to be teaching through Logic Pro. So if you got a different DAW, like say Ableton, I'm not well versed in it myself, but I will be teaching you more the techniques of sampling the loops. So you could use any DAW as long as you know the certain ways of looping your samples, right? But we suggest Logic or GarageBand. And if you need Logic, you just let me know as well, right? So I can hook you up with that. Yes, loop pedal, like I mentioned, we have 3 loop pedals. I have 2 RC30s and one I just got now is the RC505. Misha, you got your hand up. What's up?
Well, I was kind of curious too, and I don't know if you'll cover this too, but I've also thought about wondering, like, aside from those Logic Pro apps, like, is there any, like, and especially for getting like samples of pre-existing beats, like, is there various like AI tools out there that you've looked into that might also be a good way to kind of build upon what's already out there?
I've not looked into any AI tools, just because for me, with my focus here, with our focus with the Chimes method, it's about you creating from yourself. If an AI tool is something that you'd want to research and utilize, you could do that. For this program, we focus on the looper, creating from
Right.
moment, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just saying we have basic certain instrumentals, like drum kit, basically, right?
Yeah. So so just even thinking about the drum kit, for example. There's apps that you can actually utilize, and say I will also be teaching you basic beatboxing too, to be able to create your own drum beats. But if that's a super issue, then there's a way you can connect your phone into the looper and then utilize that as a drum machine, right? So on the first day, we'll figure out whatever limitations that there were. The first day is usually where we really figure who everyone is. That's where I really personalize the program for each person. But if like beatboxing was such an issue for somebody, for example, then yeah, we'll look at another solution, such as, like I said, connecting your phone up. because there's a way that you could do it, right? And literally even sampling stuff right from your phone. So yeah, that'll be an option. Cool. Does that answer your question, Misha? Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, so yeah, bring headphones if possible, so that while you're making your beats in the music production portion, you can be listening to what you're doing. And yeah, finally, take your home, your take your work home to continue creating. So this is the intensive is yes, it's there. It isn't supposed to be like normal school. This is supposed to be something that's immersive, you know. I don't want to say it's your whole life, but you know, I want it to be something you want to do. I'm here to direct. I'm not here to like pull you by the hand. I'll guide, I'll show you which way to go, I'll give you suggestions. But at the end of the day, as you know, you can lead a horse to the water, but it's up to the horse to drink. And I think you guys are super horses, so I think you can drink a lot of water. So yeah, you're encouraged to take the loops home and carry on working with that as well, so that when you come back on the next Saturday, you're ready to rock. And then at the end of the 8 weeks, we're ready for that final performance. And that's, for me, I look forward to that, to see what each person can do, because everyone's going to perform differently. And that's really interesting and intriguing to me. I'm excited to see what that looks like. All right. So like I said, knocking the head on the nail again on the weekly practice, all right? Weekly beat creation, that's going to be the homework, because consistent practice is what it's about. When I first started street performing and everything I do, I was street performing, doing about 3 to 6 performances a day, an hour each, every day, 7 days a week. That's where it started. And you know, when you're doing that much work, your voice, your throat can't help but get stronger and hitting those notes better. Can't help but get better with the people connection. After a while, you try something crazy and realize, you know what, maybe that wasn't so crazy. I was just scared, right? Then the beat making, everything just gets better. So the same way, you work on the beats every week, you will get better. So you're highly encouraged, and it's expected that you do so. Definitely develop discipline. This is so crucial for industry success, right? So the making of the beat every week, showing up every Saturday, being focused, you know, I to the students, I to you, and you to me as well. It's gonna be like we consider that time of practice and that time of instruction as sacred, you know, and we got to come at it that way, because like I said, the energy you bring is what you're going to get back. And trust me, if you bring the right energy and you actually put effort, I can almost guarantee you're going to start seeing some serendipitous things go down. So that's all I'll say. No guarantees, because that's not up to me to do. That's up to us all to actually just observe and notice things happening. All right. This is definitely going to help you build your portfolio, because you're going to end up with a nice substantial body of work showcasing your growth and abilities. That's why we will have photos and videos from the beginning to the end, so you'll even see your transformation, as well as for those who would share it on, like, say, socials and whatnot, you know, others will see that too. And that's a great way of attracting gig opportunities. As you're doing these programs, you share the story every once in a while, but everyone for sure should be connected and stay focused. But once in a while, stories are also encouraged. Okay, apply techniques learned in each session. So put these new skills into practice immediately through hands-on creation. Yes, that's what we do at Yaletown Roundhouse. That's what we're gonna do through the whole program, really. It's all about being hands-on. And in July, that's when we're gonna invite the students to get up in a public setting to start practicing their performance, their oration, whether it be making the beat, whether it be just introducing an artist, right? So all that are all parts of stage work and stage presence. And of course, when we show up, you'll receive the weekly feedback on your creations. When we get into Yaletown Roundhouse, after the street performance portion, you'll get some feedback at the second part of the day. All right, let's keep it. I think that's the last part of the slide. All right. Okay, now there's one part that is not currently on the slide, but this is the financial aspect. So this is an 8-week program, and we have a rate of $12.99 for the full 8 weeks. And for those who are maybe you don't know if this is for you just yet, I also have another intro little program. So it's going to be 3 hours, one-on-one or in a little group, but it's just going to be a quick intro session just so you can have a taste of what to expect before we start the program. So this is going to happen before June 7th. So if this might be something you're interested in, you just let me know beforehand. But we'll book a 3 hour session. We'll go to a street performance location. So pretty much we'll do everything that the regular program will do, only in a shortened time. So we'll go to do a street performance where you watch the interaction with people and take notes that way. And if you're feeling up to it, you can get up on the mic or try out some audience interaction. And then we get into an indoor location, depending if we have a place reserved. But if not, if like I say, if the weather's nice, we could just pull to the side, pull up the laptop, pull out the loops from the looper that I or we created, and make a beat from that. And then from there, take that into Serato and showcase how to DJ those beats. So all this done within 3 hours. Now that one, the rate for that is just a nice flat $47. So if that's something you want to do, try it out first before making the other financial commitment, then you're welcome to. All right. So I'll just open it up for any questions. Dave, I don't know if you have any questions. Let me just start with you. I know you're driving, so if you got a text, you can just voice text and message. I'm just gonna open the chat. So I'll just open it to you. Okay, Dave, you're driving? Okay, no problem. If you have any questions or whatnot, you can ask me later, Dave. Okay, yeah, Misha, the floor is yours.
Cool. Yeah. Just regarding, I guess, like you're saying about just the idea is creating unique beats, but if, say, we wanted to be inspired by pre-existing beats, like, I guess there's a way to approach that without, getting into like copyright issues or anything like that, right?
Yes, 100%, 100%. Would you like me to share how?
Sure.
Yeah. So the way I'd approach that is, and this is actually how I would actually work with some artists. So I get into a room and I just have them play the music they've been listening to or something they really love that inspires them. And while that's playing, with a looping technique on my looper, I start playing, trying to do a drum beat similar to what I'm hearing. Once I got that in the loop, then I may find the chord progression, but I'm not trying to make it exactly the same, right? So now I'm improvising, right? But this is if you play an instrument, right? But if you don't play an instrument, you may want to just use your voice. Lay the beat, boom, loop that while the music is still playing. Then switch to another channel, and then you may hum something, but improvised, so that doesn't sound like the original. So now it's yours. Now when the beat is done, you have the basics of the beginning of your beat. So you have the drum beat, which is maybe close to or similar to what you just heard. And then you got your humming or your instrument, which could be the same key, likely will be the same key, but because you're improvising, it's a different rhythm, you're playing the notes differently. So it's similar, but different. Now from there, I stopped listening to that other track altogether. Now I listen to what I just created as its own entity. Now that can go into any way. It can go into a different genre. Anything can happen. By the end of the whole thing, it most likely sounds totally different, but there's something similar, but it's totally different. So that's how I go about that kind of way of creating.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Do you have any other questions?
I mean, I guess the only thing too is just in regards to the if I wanted to take the 47 intro, I guess how we would schedule that out, right? Because there might be a lot of people wanting to do that, even though, like you said, there's a maximum of 16 students, right? So I mean, I'm assuming, like, with that said, there also will be like a various age group, or will it vary, do you think? Or
I think the ages will vary. For the Yaletown Roundhouse, so remember I mentioned the other program called Featuring Youth. At the Yaletown Roundhouse, that'll be open to all ages. So that won't be like, 19 under, but like over 15 because we want people who are serious about the music and the creations. But outside of that, it's open to all ages. But altogether, we're looking for people who are committed and serious in the music making, right? So
Hmm.
even if they're young, as long as they're mature enough to absorb the information and move forward, and that's something that I always check out when I have a call. So in my sales process, I usually have a one-on-one call over Zoom first. So in that way, I'm making sure that those who are showing up to the class are people who would, in fact, add to the learning of everybody. Because I think that's what's important as far as the age anyway. Whenever we say, oh, we want this age and up, I think it's more about we don't want something that's going to maybe hinder or distract, right? We want to make sure that everybody is pitching in, as we say, bringing their fire and doing the learning for themselves, and also encouraging the others through their behavior in class and just the way that they move.
And then I'll add with that, I mean, I'm sure there'll be opportunities for collaboration too, right?
Oh, 100%, 100%. Yeah. Actually, I don't know who it was I was talking to, but I was just thinking, because, let's be honest, not everybody has like really good rhythm all the time. So I was thinking for the year-end concert, for those who maybe aren't so strong with rhythm, I would encourage them to lean more into music production and DJing. And then at the presentation, those who are good with the rhythm will focus on presenting a live loop thing where they create the loops, right? And those who aren't so great should have created loops and made beats, although everyone will do that. But for those who aren't so strong with the rhythm, their job would be now, okay, showcase the beats you made through the DJing. And of course, as the weeks go on, the goal as well is everybody's connecting with everybody. So I just know it's going to be a fun community procession through the 8 weeks as students connect with each other, sharing your loops with each other, sharing the beats you just made. And then when we come on the day, we still create, but somebody may make a loop and, hey, Misha, I really like that thing you did on this little beatbox. You didn't know it was so awesome, but I did. Would you mind doing it, right? Then you can include your own thing and collaborate that way too. So it's definitely open to collaboration for sure.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, look at that. There we go. Look at that. I thought I didn't have it. Okay, so here's an investment. So at the same time too, like I said, the full program is $12.99, and that other part isn't here, about 47, but that's just like a one time. But for those who are wanting to join the program right away, we have a Chimes Academy Accelerated Grant, which is 500 off if you purchase the program within 24 hours of today's session. All right, so that brings it down to $7.99, max of 16 people. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, yeah, there it is. Here we are. So yeah, this is just what I was speaking of here. Yeah, the $47 there. You still get to experience all the 4 pillars, and yeah, you get to just test the waters. I think it's a great way for people to just know what you're really committing to, because commitment to self is very important. And whenever we're taking a journey in life, we want to know what we're stepping into. And I feel like having that commitment, little discovery workshop allows those who are coming in to fully commit for the full 8 weeks, because now you have a taste of what's required and you can garner your energy and get ready for the whole journey. All right.
Sam, did you have like an access, or do you have a full version of Logic Pro?
I do. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then you can share with other people, or?
Yes, I have a gentleman who can help install Logic for you.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, if you're wanting Logic, just like I said, just message me, let me know, and yeah, we'll talk about how to get it. All right. Yes, register tonight to secure the Chimes Accelerated Grants, right? So that's a time-sensitive opportunity for quite a bit of savings for what you're getting. And yeah, limited 16 people. Our program starts June 7th again. And just remember to bring your laptop for the first session, even if it's going to be the $47 3-hour session. Again, bring your laptop as well, because it'll be good for you to still take something home with you, right? while you make your decisions. It's good to have something hands-on that you can look back on. All right, I think that brings us to the end here. Oh, here we go, cool. Yeah, I think we already went through questions. So if anyone has any more questions, Dom, Misha, if any of you have any questions, you can do so now. But otherwise, this is the end of the presentation. You can book a call, calendly.com/Sam Chimes, and we can, yeah, look into your personal situation, and then from there book whenever we can have the 3 hour, or if you'd like to purchase the full course, you can do so through that. For more information, you can go to samchimes.com/academy, so you can see more. I suggest you check it out. I'm quite proud of the website. And yeah, my email, sirchimes@samchimes.com. Make sure you follow me, Sam Chimes, on Instagram, SAMCHIMES. I don't think I'm gonna try to make a loop, but I think you guys have already seen what I do. So if you want to catch more of that, you can just jump on my Instagram. You'll see ample footage of all that being done. Yes. So guys, that's my presentation. We got through it.
All right, thanks a lot, Sam.
All right, man. All right, take care. I'll see you soon, okay? Because I know we're having a session already later this week.
Yep.
All right, take care, Dom.
All right. Thanks, bye.
Okay, bye. All right, Misha. Any last questions, or are we good?
Yeah, I'll consider. I mean, I know it's nice that they have the grant, I guess, to cover a portion, but I guess with the rest of it, I would be kind of still a bit tricky for me to commit quite yet. But I mean, I may at least see if I can support in other ways potentially. So.
For sure. So curious on the financial side of things, say if you had a payment plan where you could split it up between 2 or 3 payments, would that kind of answer the
Maybe it really all depends, I guess. But yeah, that could probably make it a little bit easier. And I
right?
mean, yeah.
Okay, cool. Well,
But I'll
definitely.
just get some info from you, and then maybe I can also discuss it with my mother if I was to do that, because she may be willing to contribute too. It all depends. So.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, well, just stay in touch, and
Yeah.
definitely what we're bringing here is something of great value, not just the school currently, but moving forward too.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be connecting with different venues as well so that we can share with them, hey, these are our students, this is their certificate, right? And then
Right.
help them get some paid gigs as well in the future.
Cool.
Awesome. All right, Dave, I know you're driving, so thank you for being here. Okay, guys, well, that's it. Thank you for listening to the presentation. I will save this video and yeah, I'll share it so that for anyone, if you know someone else who's actually interested in something like this or you think this might be beneficial, yeah, definitely feel free to share the video after I share the link with you after I edit this, okay? With that being said, peace.